I love you.
Hello and welcome to Storyboard. We are at Cannes and we are getting you what we think is the big story this year. Over the past decade, advertisers led by the massive consumer goods companies have invested incredible amounts of time, money and effort to figure out and master digital and mobile technology. At Cannes this year, the New York-based startup Foursquare that offers location-based tagging and targeting reported that marketers like American Express had begun to check in. Animesh Das gets you the details.
In Cannes this year, Dennis Crowley was a much sought-after young man. That's because Foursquare, the geological location-based social network that he's created, has just crossed 10 million subscribers and has launched its biggest merchant program to date. This deal will give American Express users who are registered on Foursquare discounts that appear as credits in their account. This system eliminates the hassle of redeeming coupons and gives retail outlets the social media boost they're looking for. It's a way to get customers to share and recommend shops and restaurants that offer good deals.
We've got 400,000 merchants that are on the program right now. And the partnership with Amex really just takes that a level deeper, right? So one of the great things is, there's two things. Is number one, sometimes it's difficult to redeem digital coupons, like to show a cashier or a waitress your phone. Like that can be difficult. The Amex thing removes some of that friction. The second thing is Amex has relationships with tens of millions of merchants, and for them to go out and to speak highly of Foursquare on our behalf to those merchants, that's going to be great for us.
Crowley is in Cannes both to show what Foursquare can offer brands and to gear up for the burst of interest that some are already showing. There are 1,000 brands that use this app currently, but without a dedicated sales team, most of the stuff is reactive. Demand for it has gone up since users shot up, from 1 million in February last year to 10 million today. That's thanks to the redesign of the app that made it compatible with more smartphones. Today, it gets 1 million check-ins a month. Foursquare is adding more features so that people use it for different reasons, ranging from gaming to deals to networking. It's also ironing out kinks.
We're a small company based in New York. It's like 60 of us. Just don't have the bandwidth to deal with a lot of the inbound requests, and so a lot of them have gone unanswered. We're working right now to actually build a self-service platform, right? So it's like one of the interesting things about Twitter is no one ever asked Twitter if they can put their brand on there, but you have to do that with Foursquare right now. And we're trying to fix that so that you can just sign up, you can create a brand page. We'll teach you all the interesting things that you should be doing with Foursquare if you're a brand, if you're a marketing company. So I think that will remove a lot of the barriers that we've set up. On the roadmap is to start building additional tools on top of that, better tools that enable you to do more advanced targeting and see additional types of stats. And I think those things we'll be able to charge merchants for.
While Foursquare's location tagging idea sets it apart from other social networking sites that offer reviews and discounts, its subscriber base doesn't match up to the 40 million users or so that Yelp, Living Social and Groupon attract each month. Competition for marketing dollars between these sites is intense today.
Some of the best brands we've seen on Foursquare are the ones that already have a lot of content that's tied to geography. And like the low-hanging fruits are like a lot of media properties, like the New York Times, like Zagat, the restaurant guide, a lot of magazines that publish lists of like the best things to do in New York or in Paris or whatever. Like they're all on Foursquare. The other interesting ones are like, people that are connected to location that you wouldn't think are. Like, so we've seen a bunch of TV shows, like Bravo and MTV have done this, in the History Channel. They have shows that like take place in the real world. And anything that takes place in the real world kind of overlaps with something on Foursquare. So people leave little nuggets of content about their shows or about the characters or about a story or about history or about trivia, and they'll tie it to those latitude and longitude points. So I think that's been interesting. The challenge is going to be like, how do you take the next group of brands, which are really like consumer packaged goods, and how do you get them thinking about Foursquare?
Although some believe that Foursquare is a one-trick pony, it recently raised $50 million from venture capitalist KPCB that put its value at $600 million. It's looking at stepping up its presence in Japan, South Korea and Brazil, and is talking to mobile phone companies in countries like India. It hopes to be able to compete with Facebook and Twitter in a couple of years. But for that, Foursquare will need to educate advertisers and marketers about the opportunities it offers. According to Internet Research Center Pew Internet and American Life Project, just 4% of the world's online customers use check-in services. So Foursquare clearly has its work cut out for itself.
Stuff like that will only add to the intense competition that's already playing out between these technology or new media companies. Will it shift the balance of power a little bit in favor of advertisers going forward? Here's what two of the largest advertisers in the world and agency holding companies had to say.
To woo the world's best marketers can be a tough marketing task. So from free drinks to free Wi-Fi, entertainment acts and parties, marketers at Cannes were rolling out the red carpet. In a first at the festival this year, the nearly $30 billion tech and media giant Google set up its creative sandbox on the shores of the Mediterranean. From taking people through the workings of YouTube and Chrome to educating them on technology like CSS3 and HTML5 through t-shirt making apps, Google showed just what it's capable of. The tech media giant knows that as social media steals the march over search, it will have to work harder for the display dollars.
Products we're most interested in at the moment tend to be around Chrome, they tend to be around the cloud, so we're very interested in HTML5 and CSS3. We're very interested in Android and where that mobile platform is moving. We're always interested in YouTube and the opportunity that you get to kind of really allow people to collaborate, and I think that agencies aren't really leveraging that tool quite yet.
The Cannes Lions Media Person of the Year 2011,
Google's presence at the festival went beyond the beach.
Google, Eric Schmidt.
Its executive chairman, Eric Schmidt, was there not just to receive the Media Person of the Year award, but also to evangelize and help demystify the medium. And Google's in-house creative lab beat several traditional and digital agencies to share a cyber Grand Prix. The tech and media company has never been more serious about advertising.
Reaching out to the creative industries is really important to us at the moment, and engaging both with agencies at scale is a difficult thing to do. So there are a lot of projects going on online where any creative agency or any kind of media agency can find the tools, can find the training, can find the videos, and can understand what is available to them, and that's the most important thing for us. Events like the Sandbox allow us to kind of bring together some of our favourite toys, some of our shiniest bits and pieces, and you know, demonstrate that Google is open, and that we just really wanted to come here and give people some really good Wi-Fi, some nice smoothies, and just a nice space to come and be during the Cannes Festival.
The other tech giants were working hard as well. FAOL said it was time to redesign the web and brought in Ariana Huffington, whose Huffington Post it acquired 4 months ago for $315 million. Yahoo brought in legendary actor Robert Redford, who connected effortlessly with a huge audience of creative people. Facebook, on the other hand, announced its Client Council, a 12-member panel featuring top advertisers and marketers. And Microsoft renewed its sponsorship of the Cannes Lion Festival. Here is what communications companies and marketers were making of all this noise.
What's happening today is exactly what we were expecting, which is the platforms will play a crucial role. Platform will be a key component of the media landscape, and we will have to deal with the platforms. That's the reason why we never consider the platforms are enemies or frenemies or anything of like this. We were considering them as partners, and we are very lucky. And so that's the first thing. We were right, and we were right to invest. The second thing is that they are competing very harshly between themselves. So it's a world of high competition and against the classic media. So what we can expect from what you are seeing today is that advertising agencies and advertisers will play a crucial role in the war to come.
I think the fragmentation is a challenge when engaging with the consumers, but an opportunity when it comes to media. Of course, if you've only got one person to go to, they can be much more demanding on terms. So the fragmentation of media is an opportunity in that sense.
So there will be better values that you all will get from this media because of the competition?
Well, I'm not sure just because of the competition. I mean, competition helps, but I think also in digital, it's much easier in digital to get return on marketing investment tied down. And that's the bit I find more interesting. As far as the big digital companies are referring to, actually, there are some real specialists in different areas, in social, in search, etc. And of course, there is an overlap. but there's some real strong expertise in the different areas. The balance of power in technology is becoming more even. You know, James mentioned yesterday that to compete with the Googles and the Microsofts and the Yahoos and the AOLs, but particularly the Googles and the Microsofts and the Apples, News Corp is too small. Because when I asked him whether B-Sky B is the beginning or the, I mean, quite clear that, you know, Sky's in 6 markets, and you know how well they've done in India, and pay TV platforms are relatively limited, so they have to grow. So I think the answer is it's good news. Google has tremendous power. Android has given them even greater power. Since we last talked here, it's got even more intense. That's the good news for Google. The bad news, and our business with Google is up substantially this year. The bad news for Google is that it has Apple as a competitor, it has Facebook as a competitor,
and
Twitter,
it has antitrust
regulation.
I can tell you it has completely changed from 4 years ago. 4 years ago, many people didn't know what to do much with it, other than put a display ad on Google, okay, or try to get search going. Now what we're seeing is that they're creating technologies, and they're creating, for example, YouTube has channels. Facebook has landing pages where you can put ads, where you can create then the applications that I just described for you in terms of the Special Olympics. Competition is great because they really create some wonderful ideas, and we're able to come in and work with them.
Does it mean better values?
You know, I think more than anything when it comes to the digital world, it really is a better return on investment because you can get a lot more precise about where you go. You know, the broadcast world is still fairly broad. But the nice thing is, as I said earlier, is that it really does allow you to make TV and online work together more effectively.
This intense competition has already moved on from Cannes. A week after the festival wrapped up, Google stunned the online world with Google+, the tech giant's latest attempt to win the social media battle. Not to be outdone, Facebook announced an integration with Skype that now allows users to start video chats from within Facebook itself. This, internet experts say, counters Google+'s best feature, the Hangout video chat. As companies do their best to outdo one another, the lines between them are blurring. For example, Microsoft, which acquired Skype for $8.5 million in May and has a 1.6% stake in Facebook, finds itself increasingly working with the social network behemoth to take on Google, add on partnerships and alliances with Yahoo, Twitter, Apple, and other internet heavyweights, and it's clear that this war to dominate the web is far from finished.
To make the Facebook case, we're going to be joined by Carolyn Everson, Head of Global Marketing Solutions at Facebook, in just a bit.